So after a month and a half, the Sevens circuit is back, and this one taking place in Perth this weekend. Fiji, they've got a strong side. They finished third in the Cape Town Sevens and definitely want to get in that top two, if not win the whole thing for this weekend. And in this video, we'll be looking through at their upcoming fixtures, the key players to watch out for, as well as their whole squad, and then a prediction at the end of how far we think the Fijians will go. But they are going to be a part of Pool C alongside New Zealand, Kenya, and also Uruguay. So a few tough games there. Definitely Fiji versus New Zealand always seems to live up to expectations of being a fantastic game. That matchup against the Kenyans, a little bit of an unknown. We've seen these two sides play in the past. Always a very entertaining game. That is one thing that is for sure for that fixture. And then Uruguay, a bit of a dark horse when they play well, very hard side to beat. But the first game for the Fijians, it has taken place at 4:22 New Zealand time today, or that is 3:22 for you guys in Fiji, and that is up against Uruguay. So I would say debatably their easiest game for the first contest of the Sevens, last Sevens leg. They did end up playing Uruguay in the group stage, managed to get themselves to win 70 points to 7, so they'll be hoping to back it up with a great performance here. Their next game will be up against the Kenyans. That is at 8:59 p.m. New Zealand time, or 7:59 p.m. for Fijian time. And that one's a bit unpredictable. Like I said, Kenya can fire on all cylinders and they can be a brilliant side. A little bit similar to how people describe the Fijian side, but I would say Fiji should still be able to get the win. And then their last game, it has taken place on Saturday at 5:22 p.m. or 4:22 p.m. And that one will be up against New Zealand. That game for me is Fiji's toughest test throughout their group stage. And if they win that one, they will have a lot of confidence moving forward. We're back to the 3-pool format, which means top two from each group go through and the two best third place teams. So no matter what, I can see Fiji in that top three, if not top two for this group. Are looking through at their squad. In the number 1 jersey, it is Kawikini Tani Vanua-Kula. We have seen him in the past for Fiji. Suliano Vuli. At number 2, number 3, Josefa Talatholo. Now, he didn't actually play in Cape Town. Bit of a gap that Fiji wanted to be able to fill, and bringing him back perfectly puts it all together. Tira Wailangi as the number 4. Rubeni Kabu is in this side alongside Filippo Bukayaro, Tario Vailawa. Those are your two speedsters. They score tries for fun. Tario Vailawa, whether he's in the starting lineup or off the bench, can really bring that impact. Felipe Satoranga, Ioani Teba, George Bolsi, Georgie Nasova, Vuiviwa Nadovalo. He has scored some brilliant last-minute tries for Fiji. And then at number 13, it is Sakiusa Zanila, the last man in this Fijian side. So in terms of key players, I think that Josefa Talatholo returning into this Fijian team is going to do them a world of good. He's a brilliant ball runner, manages to find that offload, and also is just one of the bigger players out there on the field, so can enforce that physicality, which is something the Fijians love to bring to Sevens. To Rio Vailawa, I've already mentioned it. He is a X-Factor player for Fiji. He showed it all throughout 2024, as well as the year prior, so I don't see this competition in Perth being any different. And we've got to remember the conditions as this competition wears on. The temperature does increase. The first couple days, around those mid-20s. The last day of the Sevens, I believe they're looking at 30 plus, if not closer to 35. So in some regards, that will benefit Fiji, seeing as they are used to that heat. So some of these guys definitely could bring a lot to the last day of the competition. And then the last key player for the Fijians, I'm going to go Felipe Satoranga. A little bit of an underappreciated member of this Fijian side. He's been in there for quite some time and really does bring an impact, whether that's just with his passing or the tackles that he makes. But certainly someone to keep an eye on for the Perth Sevens. But now we're up to that stage of a prediction. Now, like I said, I think Fiji will make it out of their group. I do think they'll be either 1 or 2, and the determining factor will be that game up against New Zealand. If they win it, I think they'll be 1. If they lose it, they should still be 2, because I can see them beating Kenya as well as Uruguay. And then I want to see the Fijians do better than they did in their last competition, and they got 3rd, which would mean that they'd have to make it to the final, and I do think they've got the ability to do so. So I'm hoping to see Fiji in the final. We'll have to wait and see whether or not that becomes a reality. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We are going to be covering the games for Fiji on the channel, so be sure to check that out. Their first game is only in about an hour's time, so be sure to check out that stream. Fiji versus Uruguay. First match for the sides in the Perth Sevens. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.